Lords and ladies, welcome back to something a little bit different today. Today I'm finally going to be doing the Final Fantasy 7 stat maxing guide that I was going to do ages ago. I mean, I'm just going to put it on double speed here while we, get to where I need to be. Yes, I'm going to show how to max out stats in Final Fantasy 7. As you can see, I've got every character at level 99, and I managed to fix my controller. Now, unlike Final Fantasy 8, you can't do anything, to my best of my knowledge, about health in this game, or your HP without materia. But strength through the look, we can do. So it's not too bad. It's not terribly. So that's what it gives us 6 stats. That's 6 different sources. And as you can see, in this game, it's sort of like Final Fantasy 8 as far as stat maxing go. I mean, Cloud's already had most of the sources I've ever found, or grinded by luck sources, because honestly I'm just lazy. I'll be honest, I never saw the point in it. But our first trip is going to take us to Gongaga, and once we get to the area, I'll go over me setup for it. This will be the only one where you're going to have to watch is actually run to where I need to be, and I went the wrong way. Trust me, to go the wrong way. It's been a hot minute since I've been in this. Let's see, obviously I've had I had issues with my controller that wasn't affecting other games, but for some reason it was affecting the menu in this game. Now, I'm pretty sure you've already got a rough idea of exactly what my setup is here and how this is going to work. But what we want to do here is we want to head to this reactor area. Now, in this reactor, we are only going to fight this guy here. The heavy tank, I believe he's called. Now, the heavy tank, obviously, as you saw there, there's power sources from him. So, one battle is one power source. How many items? I've got so many items. There you go. One power source is, let's have a look here, it's one point of strength. So, Yuffie's at 86 there. So, let's increase Yuffie's strength a little bit more. She should be at a very nice 87 now. Look at that. Wonderful. Now, to do this, obviously, I've got the conform run, Yuffie. Armor doesn't matter. I've got the Mideel on. You can use any armor from the game, really. And accessory doesn't really matter. I've just got to run a ribbon for something I was doing before. Cloud is ultimate weapon, Mideel ribbon. Sid, Venus got some Mideel ribbon. You can see a pattern forming here. But if you go to the materia, Sid, I have an absolute wonderload of preempts on, as I was working on preemptive attacks for something and I can't remember what it was. As well as enemy lures, just getting the fights a little bit quicker. And then obviously the speed plus. Cloud is pretty much the same, except he has no preempts, he just has speed pluses. And Yuffie is, that snake attack's not really needed. Ideally, you'd have a snake attack and a morph in there as well. I just don't. I seem to have misplaced my unmastered morph material somewhere, and I cannot find it. You'd think it'd be here somewhere with all of this other material that I've got. Along with all these Knights of the Round here. So what? I'm just going to put 2 luck pluses in there. It makes absolutely no difference whatsoever. As long as you've got the first strike, link the morph, and that's all you've got on Yuffie, then you get this. And the more first strike morphs you have, the more times she will actually do the morph. Obviously, any encounter up, enemy rate up, enemy lower is purely just to get the encounters rolling a little bit quicker, a little bit faster. So we're not wasting as much time, actually trying to get into the encounters. Now, I've got the speed up on here, but even without the speed up, obviously I'll take the speed up off now so you can see it. It's still a relatively quick level up. I mean, we don't run as fast on the map. Is probably the biggest issue. It's why I'm obviously playing what is soon to be known as the 2013 edition on Steam. I was going to get, the newer, more updated PS5 version, I believe it is. But yeah, this is it. This is my go-to for power sources for your strength. I mean, in what, 4 minutes there? We've got 5. So you're averaging 1 a minute. And the only thing is, it's going to take a long time to get that attack, that strength all the way up to 255. But the way this game calculates your stats, everything apart from spirit is... Right, okay, so we'll go through this, right? Looks decent, and obviously affects your crit hit rate, if it's like every other one, it's your evasion and your hit percentage as well. It's all lumbered in under luck. Your spirit's a good one to try and get higher, right? Your spirit does help your magic defense a little bit. It definitely helps more than any other stats. Same as your vitality. Spirit and vitality, probably M2 is probably the most important for, you know, not taking damage. Your magic stat is, it's taken into consideration with your magic attack, but not massively. Your dexterity is your speed, so get that as high as you want to be, as fast as you want, really. Your strength gets taken into consideration with obviously your attack, but in the case of Cloud here, he's a 210 attack. Plus, obviously, his ultimate weapon on top, which has its own damage formula to start with. I mean, I'd say this is as pointless as, well, not pointless. It is actually quite fun still to max stats. Pointless was probably the wrong choice of words there. But it's along the same lines of maxing stats in 8, right? There's nothing in this game I can think of outside of doing, you know, maybe some weird Omega or Emerald runs where, you know, you're trying to limit yourself on what you can use. That would require the stats maxing. Again, kind of like 8. I mean, I demonstrated in the 8 video, Omega's a pushover with or without max stats. But I'm getting a little off track here, right? So that is your strength stat. It is the heavy tanks at the Gongaga. The Gongaga reactor. Heavy tank is pretty much the only enemy you're going to come into contact with here, so it makes it an absolutely fantastic place to get your power sources for your strength there. Very nice, very easy. And Yuffie, absolutely, she makes short work of it with the conformer and the first attack, snake attack morphs. So, next one, what I'm going to do is I'll just meet you at the next area. I'll not put you through the pain. No, we'll do it on, I was going to say, I'll not put you through the pain of going there, but we'll do it on screen. We might get some more, you know, some more cool morphs in there. See some more of the action. So obviously, the next one we're going to do is actually going to be dexterity. No, it's not. Thomas, I'm lying here. I'm going to go do Vit next. I'll do our vitality next, our Vit. Get rid of the 2 that are on the top end of the world map, as the rest of them high potions. Hey, everything has a useful morph, I guess. Yeah, as everything else is located somewhere else. So for this one, we need to go to Mideel, if I can remember where Mideel is. Pretty sure it's over this way. Just past the old fort of Condor there. It is, there it is. And what we're after here is this rocky area. This one, I can't land here. What's going on? I don't land? Oh no. Up to the grass. Come on. Land. Land. There we go. I know you could do it, Sid. And this is not what we're after. We are not after griffins. But it works. What we are after here is spirals. Now, you can find them here, or you can just find them literally on the pass over there. They are uncounterable. I generally have a better outcome finding them here. And this is really fast because we're going to get all 3 in an instant. And from these, as you saw there, we get guard sources. And guard sources is our vitality. We go down to them there, you can see, it raises Vit. We use them with the 2 power sources on Yuffie, why not? And the guard sources there on Yuffie as well. So as you can see, look at that. 85 Vit now and 97 strength. So you're going to get, I think there's a 2 to 3 Spirals you can counter once. Unfortunately, this one isn't as guaranteed as the heavy tank. There is other enemies here, as you can see with the griffins. There might be a better way of doing this. I always just use these for vitality if I'm ever going for max stats. But there might honestly be a better way now. I just find, you know, I'm getting an encounter of 3 of them. If I'm getting a 3 for 1 deal, why wouldn't I? It cuts the grinding down tremendously, being able to do 3 of them at once, right? 3-to-1 ratio, that's good enough for me. So we'll see if we can get another one here. Ah, yeah, see there, 2. I think that's the lowest number you can find is 2, and then obviously other than that you will tend to find groups of 3. Yes, that's the spirals that are around the Mideel area. As you can see here, the Mideel area. And they do, like I say, give us guard sources there. Which honestly, they come quite fast. Quite thick and fast here. Because you do encounter them fairly regular. They're not, you know, 100% guaranteed. I mean, we can go up onto the grasslands of Mideel up here, Mideel, and we'll see if if we've got any more of a chance up here. Maybe are they more common? We got a group of 2 here. We'll do another 2 battles here. We'll see if they're more common up here or more common down on the rocky plateau where we just fought them, and we'll see which one would be a better bang for your buck. Again, like I said, I am doing this with the 2 times speed up on, just to get through it that little bit quicker. I mean, I don't know who's out here grinding nowadays without speed up on, or if anyone's even grinding, to be honest. So 2 out of 3 battles there were spirals. Maybe up here hovering around the chocobo tracks. Maybe might be a better option. Seem to be a tad more common. Yeah, that was what, those 4 to 5 fights. That's what 8. Oh, off that there, simple mass 4 to 5. That's an 80% encounter rate that we got up here. But it's the same enemy cycling as to what was on the rocky parts. Now, obviously, you know, we went through the stats. We went through what's what. Obviously, guard sources here. They're just increasing your vit, they're increasing your physical defense. But Yuffie already has a defense of 161, Clouds is at 167, Sid is at 158. Depending on your armor choices. Apologies, had to sneeze there. Depending on your armor choices, I don't know if I'd say these are really worth going for. I mean, you have got Zydridges there, which is can't be out at an instant 100 defense. Absolutely no slots for your materia, but 100 flat defense. Which is, of course, you know, fairly substantial. I mean, we'll bring in... Who do I think is going to have a good defense here? Red? Red probably has a decent vit. Let's have a look at Red here. So, Clouds at 102, Yuffie's at 96. They're both around 160. There, see, Red's at 120 vit. Right, he's got a defense of 179 with the Gigas armor on. If I was to swap his Gigas armor for his Zydridge, he now has a defense of 220 and a magic defense of 192. If you're willing to use the Zydridge, I mean, the missiles come with high percentages for dodging. The Zydridge comes, I mean, your magic defense with the Zydridge, that's more than enough magic defense, considering obviously, as we know, the Zydridge decreases all elemental attacks by half. Whereas obviously Cloud and Yuffie with the missile on there, which the missile is considered the better armor in the game just for its, you know, the percentage chances, which is obviously the percentages of dodging. Although I don't think you can dodge magic. But the Zydridge is the all-out better one just because you can get hit and you just don't move. You become the immovable wall. So we'll take Red off for Sid here. But yeah. If anything, I'd say this one and maybe Spirit is probably the most important. Attack, magic. I mean, dexterity. Dex is a pretty good one to to want as well, to be honest. Speaking of which, I need my submarine. We all live in... I'm not going to sing that song. We're not going to sing the Beatles. Yeah, so I mean, I suppose it technically comes down to personal playstyle. If you use a lot of magic or a lot of physical attacks, then you might want to max your strength out. But the way this, like I say, the way this game works with each weapon have its own formula. It's almost as if your physical attacks aren't quite taking everything into consideration. But I don't remember it being this dark under here. Can't you remember where the Gelnika is? Can you get the Gelnika first time? He can. So the rest of what we need, literally your other 4 sources, right, are all going to come from the sunken Gelnika. You're going to get 2 in this room, and these are Poodlers or Poodlers. No, sorry, these are bad raps. These are bad raps, and these turn into luck sources. My mistake. I got them confused with another enemy we will also be encountering in this small little room where we fought the Turks. That one in the middle is a Poodler or Poodler. I think it's meant to be Poodler, but as you can see, this is where you get luck and speed from. Arguably the 2 easiest to farm in the game. Arguably the 2 I would probably want to farm if I was going to be going for, you know, maxing stats on anything, would be these 2. It would be luck and speed. The faster I go over, the more chance to crit and dodge. That suits me fine. If I'm outspeeding my enemies, if I'm running rings around them and popping them critical hits, then it doesn't really matter how much I'm getting hit for or hitting them for. You're still going to hit the max damage. But yes, these 2 here in the sunken Gelnika. Specifically in this room though, it's not the whole of the sunken Gelnika, it is the hallway. This is obviously where we fought Reno and Rude on the sunken Gelnika. Or where you fight Reno and Rude, I should say. As you can see here, you do get the Poodlers and the Poodlers by themselves, Poodlers, however you want to pronounce it, by themselves. But yeah, this is where you would come for these ones. I mean, as you can see here, with enough first strikes and morphs, you don't really have to worry, to be honest with you. It just kind of happens. There's no input required other than actually making your character run. You can do this while you're watching Netflix, watching YouTube, watching a film, playing on a handheld, you know, have this open on one monitor, another game on another, have this on your telly, while you've, you know, say on your computer or whatnot, your laptop, your phone, Switch, whatever it is that you use, then you can just let this run away. And it will do so. Absolutely no qualms. All you want to do every now and then is wiggle the analog stick and click X through the battles at the end. It's not... Whoa! Got too aggressive with the buttons there. It's not a terrible farm. I mean, there you go. So we've got 5 speed sources for Dex for Yuffie there. And 22 luck sources. Now, I had double speed on, so, you know, times that time in 2. But I mean, look, Yuffie's now got 92 Dex and 128 luck. As you can tell, I have fed Yuffie some luck sources previous. From doing little bits of this grind here. But now, I know, I'm gonna say this now, right? I am aware that the W item trick exists. Let's just pause here. The W item trick does indeed exist to work on sources, right? I never use that. I never get it to work. Personally, I don't know what it is. I normally go with this. Now this is Unknown 1, which we've got no interest in Unknown 1, unfortunately. Which is a power source, which is always nice. But I think the heavy tanks are easier than guaranteed. We are actually after 2 enemies in this room. You can actually get all your sources here. This is one of them. This is Unknown 3. This is why I have the ribbon on Yuffie, because he does counter-attack. But he is your magic sources. So there is that. I say I'm pretty sure you can get all of nearly all, if not all, of your sources in this one place. The only unfortunate thing is it's not guaranteed which enemies you fight in this room. But I suppose, you know, you can... Maybe what I would probably do... Here's the other one we're after, the Serpent. Yes, the Serpent there, as well as Unknown 3, who we want from here. The Serpents are your mine sources. Now, see, that actually covers all the sources, by the way. Serpents for your mine source in the Gelnika in the Hades room. Unknown 3 in the Hades room for your... what you might call it, your magic sources. And obviously the Poodler in the hallway for your decks. The bad wraps in the same hallway as the Poodlers for your luck. Strength from the heavy tank and vitality from the spirals in the Mideel area. But what I would do, if you're going to do this, and this is just my opinion, my advice, if you are going to seriously consider maxing all your stats out, right? I've done it in the past, right? And yes, it is fun. Same as Final Fantasy, right? It's very fun to max out your stats. I'm not going to deny that, right? It's absolutely fantastic. But at the same time, it's very I'd say it's more time consuming on 7 than it is on 8. Or even 10 for that matter. And at 10 is very time consuming. But if you're serious about doing it, I would honestly start in the Gelnika. I'd start in this room here. I'd get your magic and your spirit maxed out first, because you are going to be getting the occasional power source from in this room as well. Then go to the luck and speed, then go to your luck and speed, and then obviously, you know, go get your strength and your vitality afterwards, after you're done in this room. But just be aware, depending on if you're going for just your main 3 or if you're going for every party member. Now that's where it becomes a problem, is if you decide you want to do every party member. Because we have 3 party members here. But how many other party members is there in the game? Now obviously, counting out Aerith, or Aeris, depending on how you keep it named. That's one less that you have to worry about, because, well, she's dead, obviously. We don't have to worry about that. But that still leaves, we've got 3 here, then there's Tifa, Kate Sith, Red 13, Barrett, Vincent. That's 5 by my count. That's 5 characters. If we just go back to this save point here, right, there's five other characters. Let's bring in Kate. I know for a fact I haven't pumped anything into Kate Sith as far as bonus stats go, right? That is Kate Sith's stats. Kate Sith actually has insanely good strength. Really good strength. Every character has their own stat that they're a lot better with, by the way. But that's Kate Sith's stats there, right? All these stats cap out at 255. Now every character's luck caps out at 30. I've had a little bit of investment in Yuffie's luck. I think Yuffie's luck might actually start a little bit higher than everyone else's with the levelings. But so we'll do luck, right? That's 225 luck ups, or luck sources in this game. Sorry, luck sources for Kate Sith. That is also 225 for the other 5 party members. So if I do some quick math here, right, which is 225 times 5, which if you give us a moment, I'll quickly take care of that. That is 1,125 luck sources. You can only hold 100 at a time. That's 1,125 just for the luck sources. That's not including then the spirit, the magic, the vitality, the dexterity, the strength. Obviously, like I said, you know, you can see here some characters have had investment from through the time in the game. Like Cloud, I give all my sources during my playthrough. The Cloud, he was the main physical and magical carry for the majority of the game. I also enjoyed Cloud with the cover materia and the counter materia. So obviously having that extra vitality for him certainly does help. Yuffie, she's had some luck put into her and some strength that you've seen today. The only stat before what I've put into Yuffie today was strength, and Yuffie's still nowhere near a stats been anywhere close. And I mean, if we then look at Barrett, right? Barrett's the same. Barrett's luck stat is actually low. He only has 27 luck. But look at his stats. Look at his attack and his defense. And his magic attack and his magic defense. His stats are still really good. And there's Tifa. Tifa's definitely going to have some lower stats. There we go, right? So Tifa's a perfect example here, right? She only needs 100 for a strength. 135 for magic. That's what? 142 for a vitality? But her dex and spirit are quite low. But that's still a lot of investment in that one character. Now, I'm not trying to dissuade you and say, oh no, you definitely shouldn't do it. Don't do it, it would be silly, right? 100% if you want to do it, right? You will have so much fun with your characters at max stats and max level. It's ridiculously fun, and it makes the weapon fights. There we go. This works on a back attack as well, by the way. Yeah. Yeah, but having max stats, it makes the weapon fights and it makes the final Sephiroth fight so much more entertaining. It's just, there's something about it and I don't quite know what it is. There's a Poodler. Poodler. It makes the fight so much more entertaining when you just, you know, run in circles and you're absolutely hammering home at your enemies and killing them. Now, I don't have a save. I'll be honest, I do not have a save where I have everybody at max stats. Not on this one. I did on the PS3, I think it was, from years ago. I've just never actually done it on this. Obviously on Steam, on the PC version. I've got much easier ways and quicker ways of killing things. But max stats is definitely something that is a lot of fun. But yeah, that is, like I say, that is exactly where you can find everything at. I will remember to timestamp this video in the description, as well as I'll list in the description what sources you can get from what enemies at what area of the world, or in the case of the Sunken Gelnika, in which rooms in the Sunken Gelnika you can get them. But obviously, whether you go for the stat maxing or not is entirely up to you. I'm not going to convince you one way or another that stat maxing is a bad idea, because it's really not. And you can't really listen to the man that spent, 400 to 500 hours maxing stats on Final Fantasy VIII, right? I'm the terrible person to give advice to. I will sit here and I will max out everybody's stats in 7, unashamedly. But I have nothing left to fight in 7. Unfortunately, this is something that I'm showing you after I've already done Emerald, I've already done Ruby Weapon, I've beat Sephiroth. Now, if the idea of fighting Sephiroth with my characters and max stats is appealing, let us know, and it is definitely something I can look into doing, obviously. And showing you the difference between having a party guide with ultimate weapons and some nice junction systems, some nice materia setups and stuff. Can completely slaughter Sephiroth at the end of the game. I'm more than happy to showcase that. But for now, this is where I'm going to leave this guide. It might not be the perfect or the most concise Final Fantasy VII stat maxing guide you've ever seen, but all the information is here, and like I say, I will make sure I timestamp it in the description there. But yeah, that is everything for this one, ladies and gentlemen. So as always, this is the Casual Gamer Dad signing out. Stay safe.